Procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill. What do you say? Hello, listeners. Here is Giridhar, and you are listening to the podcast Giridhar's Garady. Today, we have someone who seems to be silent but is actually not, who seems to be innocent but is actually not, who seems to be an introvert but is actually not. On this note, here's welcoming the guest for today's episode, Vishnu Prabhakar. Hi, Vishnu. Welcome to Giridhar's Garady. How are you doing today?
Hi, Giridhar. It is nice meeting you after a long time. I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing fine. Thank you. Well, just a quick question before we start. How do you feel like being a guest on this podcast?
I was a little surprised actually. Basically, I was a junior to you in the college, but now coming as a guest, I was really surprised and very happy to meet you here in this platform.
Amazing. Thank you. All right. So, Vishnu, tell us, what is this procrastination all about?
Yeah, I was not completely prepared about this topic because procrastination is not about preparation to deliver from my end because everyone's life it was a part at one point and everyone has been experienced that as well. So I'll just share my experiences and what I have done for few things to overcome that. So initially, I want to tell there are two types of procrastinations will be there. One is proactive, and the other one is wanted procrastination. To get into brief details, what is proactive procrastination means if you want to do anything like planned, which is very helpful for your career or which is anything which is benefit that does benefits for you. So you have to be very focused and you have to do that, right? So at this point, we need to be take care of what are the things required, like what we need to be prepared for, and what are the skills required for that activity. It might be professional or it may be personal. So it has to be very clear. So the other one is, the wanted procrastination, where it needs a push from outside, like from the external. Someone has to motivate or someone has to give some inspiration. So you'll be like some lit. So the how the rocket goes in a very fast way. So like that, we'll need some expectation from outside. So these two things are different, but once we join these two things, right? So you can achieve anything in your life. Whatever the challenges that you face. So when coming to my experiences in professional, I'll give you both professional and personal. When coming to professional, because we need this much actually in professional career, right? So we on daily basis, whatever the tasks that you do to reach our deadlines, we do, right? So for example, we have a deadline. For example, we have a deadline of 4 days where you need to complete that task in 2 to 3 days, where it pressures from the manager. So what we do is like first we'll take the stress. Then if there is a buffer unexpectedly comes from the task, we will bit relax. So where the procrastination starts, there is a buffer came from the manager. So we have some time to do that. So we need to just uh, keep in our mind like whatever we want to achieve, that maybe one day before that we need to achieve that, whatever the task. So that wanted pressure requires us, and that need to be guides us to achieve the task. It is like in self. But when coming to the other part, if any I'm not saying like so many leaders or who are managers that are supporting you in the project level, but they will be on specific to your task with numbers, because in projects, right, in IT, wherever you go, everything follows the numbers, number of deadlines, number of team members, even you'll get hikes on numbers as well. So jokes apart, and I'll just divide this procrastination, and it's a loop. Completely it will be a never ending loop. If you are in a comfort zone, again comfort zone, to clarify this, comfort zone means it's like you are habituated to one job profile or one personal work that you're doing regularly. If you're not breaking that loop to find yourself what actually you can do to get strengths, right? So we need to break that cycle, that loop. So how we'll do that is the other case I'll tell at the end, like what are the things that we can follow. Again, these are my experiences and some opinions which I can share with the viewers, listeners. So I just divided this procrastination as a heart, like what the physical heart that we have, right? We can just figure it out like a love symbol or whatever it is. So we need to break that heart. Procrastination heart, right? We need to break that. How we can do is by three things: action, creativity, and progress. So in my case, if any, in my case, like if you ask me like any experience, so I have one task where I need to develop some UI application, and there is a lot of time limit that I have because it's a POC. So, for example, I can say 15 days. I got it I get the time to just complete it, but without much pressure from the manager, we or any other elder leaders. So we take our time to finish the task. Even we know the result, or even we know the solution for that, as soon as possible, we implement that. So what I did is I would take 2 weeks rest completely. Last 2 days, I was completely like vexed how I do this, because the first 2 weeks I was like postponed. Okay, this is a minor task. I can do it anyway because anyway it is like dependent on me completely. So no one asks me, and I'm not responsible till the end of the date the task ends. So I felt a lot of pressure myself because I postponed that. I can say postponement is nothing but a procrastination where postponement which displays a professional word from the manager, and procrastination is our feeling and that can't be expressed outside. No one agrees that. If for example Giridhar is my manager and he asked me what is the update of the task, and when you will submit that, if I'll tell that, sir, due to some reason something happened, so that's why it was delayed. But what you have done for the buffer for 2 weeks, I'll tell all the reasons and excuses, which is the starting phase and the continuity phase of this procrastination. So how I overcome is the other experience which I can share. So whatever learned from this time frame of 2 weeks of the task which I postponed and I suffered a lot. At the starting of this task, what happens is you feel like you are a superman. You will complete this task. That inspiration, right, or whatever the motivation that you get to complete the task, it does not stays with you a lot, because once you divert or you are distracted from the actual work mode to other mode, so you little bit forget on day by day because you think we have a buffer. The real fact is time is very limited to any task or even a life. I can say so. You need to take care of everything on time. I'm not saying you need to take pressure and you need to get submitted before 1 week of the buffer time that we have. This is not the way. You need to like enjoy the work you do, but plan it according to the timelines or whatever the expectations that we have. Obviously, once you do that, you will get it. And if you ask me, like, there are different types of rules that we follow, like from start to end of the task. So this motivation activation of our dopamine thing that we release in the brain, right, once we achieve anything, this happens automatically once you do. So we have to do. We have must be the doers of the any task. It may be personal or professional. So this has to be, for example, eat an elephant. I say without any context. What is the first thing that you will get? Okay, I'll ask this to Giridhar only. Please, Giridhar, like whatever the solution or answer that you give me, I am fine. So if I say eat an elephant is a task for you, what you'll do?
Why would I eat an elephant in the first place?
No, that's it. That you
That's my
question
question.
again. Question
Yeah.
is
Okay.
see, this is a task. I have
Okay.
given elephant and you need to eat an elephant.
Okay.
Just answer me the question. If you, I mean,
Okay.
whatever you have in your mind. I mean to say, I need to know like whatever you're thinking and that answer, like what.
Yeah, simply if eat an elephant is the task that you assign to me, then I
Yeah.
my first question will be how to eat that elephant.
Okay.
So that's the thing running into my mind. So how to achieve the task?
Got it. So to be straight, without any confusions, what I'll say is you need to split the parts. So if I tell eat an elephant means even you'll get scared, right? When you see the elephant from 100 meters to 200 meters, how you'll touch or eat. So it's just joke. Eat an elephant means you need to see once this task comes right into mind, how I'll eat an elephant is a big that question itself very big in the mind, right? So we need to split that first of all. So same case, if you are facing any challenge with any question or challenge that you made from office or at home or outside anything personally, so we need to just split it first. Look, what I can do to achieve this. So split that into parts. Small things which you achieve today that gives the route to achieve the bigger things in the future. So anyway, past experience always follows. So we need to take what is the good happened. So that is a good experiences as well. So my point here, eat elephant means so that question itself, your so many clouds are forming in the mind, right? So what I mean is, you need to just okay, how to eat elephant. So I need to break the elephant into parts. I mean, not a violent way. It's like on a subjective way where if any task kind of elephant that you get right, the bigger one, how you will follow. So you'll get the team support, you'll get if it has a person problem, get family support. Support will be there automatically, but what we are doing on time with the planning, that matters. And the bad procrastination, the complete negative thinking and negative thoughts will also consume some amount of our time, right, on a weekends or on daily basis as well. Because in this competitive world we are facing a lot of problems like stress, overthinking, anxiety and all. So this happens even after work from home. It was like into three times per person, individual who is working from home. There is no communication with the team and all. So even if the project deadlines or it completes also, the person is in the same phase, like I need to be the best, I need to do the better, irrespective of the salary that he's getting. He's like overthinking and doing all the things out of the limit, because the way the after post covid became like that. So whatever I want to say is like, just make it into parts and solve it. Obviously you'll achieve the result. So the three things which I will repeat that the action, creativity, progress is the one thing which can break the chain of the procrastination. So that gives you more clear picture, like on individual terms, what is the action that you do. Obviously the motivation will follows that, and the result will get either whatever the step you took, after you took the action, that will come into your place. Definitely I experienced that. That is one of my personal experience. And coming to the creativity, the amount of time you spent on the task, the different ways you do that, the procrastination will not come into the picture because you're already into an action with different ways. How can you hit the target this way, that way, whatever the way. And coming to the progress, right? Once you take the first step, then the 100 step will follow from the one, right? So once these three things into the picture, you will definitely it was very easy to break the procrastination chain. Any questions, Giridhar? Like, am I clear till now?
Of course, I think you have gone a lot deeper into the concept already. Let me put the basic question, because we are still at the beginning of this podcast episode. So here's my next question to you. Why is it important to talk about procrastination?
Yeah. See, whenever we, for example, we like friends together talking about few topics like movies or whatever, some problems or something else, people are not interested to talk about their personal things which they are facing internally. Where procrastination is one thing. If you see outside, there are a lot of therapies came for psychiatrists and for mental, physical, and after this COVID, it was increased more. So many online sessions are going on weekend basis. Like that is one part of the activity they are listing like in agile boards. I need to attend this session. So what leads to procrastination? This overthinking, anxiety, stress, which I have already said in earlier, right? So why we need to know more about procrastination means whatever the things that we want to achieve in your life, we need to be make sure about the lifetime of our things that we need to do on daily basis, and what is the target that we need to hit with the time limit that we kept. So these two things are only in the mind, because on so many interruptions and diversions, what you can say, like so many distractions will get. But this procrastination starts from these distractions only, the starting point. I was on my deadline to achieve my task, and some ping or message will come. I will just divert that to the mobile. Once I start mobile using this some reel or notification or any update, it goes on, never ends, because the mobile becomes the third hand of my body. I can say only two hands, because already in one hand we are using. So that kind of things will distract like anything to achieve our target on time. So to know more about procrastination, people has to know first about what their purpose to achieve the targets that they have, professional, personal, and they need to be crystal clear about what their plan, how to achieve that. These comes actual distractions will definitely come. I am not saying you need to be 100% focused, but how to handle those that need to be known. Even the younger generation now, they need to know because they are becoming very sensitive in all the things when compared to taking decisions and all. There are two ways are going. Technology is growing, everything is in our hand, right? And mobile, whatever we want, the good or bad, you can see that these digital things are changing the way how to use it. And this procrastination also starts from this main 99%. This distraction and procrastination start from this digital things that we use in our daily life.
Yes, yes. Okay. What are the signs of procrastination?
We if we're specific to science, there are no particular signs I can say, but there are only the inner feelings and their emotions where at that particular point of time and their thoughts. You are aware, right? The thought process that we say, like thought process, we hear this term regularly, and any YouTube video or any the motivation session, they will use this thought process. What is this thought process? What is so whenever I think about this, right, what will come into my mind is first what is our thought, then how it is processing. Just apply some basic science on that. We eat some food and it will digest, right? So whatever the food you're eating it will get digested. It's a good food or a bad food. Same thing, thought is like a food we're giving to the brain, right? So what kind of thought you are giving to your brain, it's a positive one or negative one. Just keep aside about this positive and negative one. What is the thought and what is the result? Just think about it. So just judging that brain, right? Okay, I have done this thing and I'm just thinking or overthinking about this thought. That is the result I am getting. So many things or negative thoughts you're getting, that then the anxiety or stress is the output. If you're thinking about positive things, right, then that is the one that you're getting the better result for good things. I can't say like, okay, Girdhar is thinking this at right moment because I'm not a mind reader. But if your result of speaking or response, how it is, that gives you the current state of mind. Mind is like a monkey, right? Like it will be running like anything, left, right, top, bottom. But we can't control that. What we can do is we can show the route to that. Okay, you go this way now. You go, you spin, you jump, but jump in this way. Go in this way for certain time limit where till you achieve your target. Just calm it. After that, you just calm the mind by following some meditation techniques or whatever breathing techniques that we have. So again, here I want to make my point clear about shifting the mind, taking the decision, and guiding the mind. So many people will tell or guide us. For example, Vishnu got to achieve this on time. So one task is there for Vishnu and he has to achieve on time. So what I will do is at that point, before getting that task to me, my mindset was different. Once that I got the task right, my mindset was totally different. I may go crazy, I was or I may be interested, or I may be like completely, restless. So many things will happen at that state of mind. So once I was very interested on the task to start, right? So I'll prepare my mind. So here what's happening is you're putting little force on your mind to achieve that task, to in a good way or a bad way, or taking stress or you're happy to start. So you are even either way you are forcing your mind to convert or divert your situation or state of. What I mean to say is here, don't make or pressure anything on brain. Understand that, just understand that, do whatever it requires. Instead of changing your mind from normal state to motivation state, and from motivation state to achieving the result, and from motivation state to stressful state, from stressful state to result state. See, these many states, mind definitely running like a roller coaster. So what I mean to say is you just understand what actually you want to achieve or whatever the task is. In this way, you no need to change your state of mind. This is I can say, like, it's nonsense state of mind. There is no state for a mind in my opinion, because itself it's existing physical thing in our brain, where its functioning has to happen on a way it is. That's what actually I want to say.
Okay, I think that's quite a different perspective I'm hearing for the first time. Great. So, Vishnu, now tell us, what does procrastination usually say about a person?
It depends on situation actually what he is in. We see from school life, college life, and even if in office as well, in a team or a group of friends, or you observe one person will be there who is very damn lazy. You'll be doing few things like at the end. But if you observe from his life from school to college, right, he will be totally different person. So what is that change actually? If you observe, I think you will have everything in your in your hands to achieve, and you don't know like how to go. It's like you have bike but you don't know how to ride it. That is a different case. But you have everything, but you're not interested to do that. Why? Do you need any 3 to 1 clap action kind of words, or you want any inspiration from outside? So these kind of things need to be figured out, like what is the difference between this stage to that stage. So the person who is your friend, who is very lazy and is very, like, completely lazy to do anything, but he's one of the person running a startup, or he's one of the delivery manager in a company who's running multiple projects. What is the change? So at the each stage it changes for a person. His mindset and situations will change him and convert him, and depending on his attitude and mindset, it applies on stage to stage.
Okay, okay. So, according to you, what are the main reasons behind this procrastination?
Specific reasons, for example, if any of the person working on 24/7 in an office, like 9 hours a day, so if he's completely packed with things till he completes his task on a sprint or agile this basis, right? For example, 15 days, the task was divided into 1 week and 1 week. So he has some buffer of 1 week and he has to complete the task by 7 days. So the reason behind this is, once he starts it, he'll whoever starts the task is what can say, the end date in mind. So for this date I need to complete this. So his focus will be on the end date. For example, today, September 1st is the start date and 15th is the last date of the task. His mind was completely up, prepared, and 15th is the last date. It's already fixed in the mind. He need to complete that. The buffer of 1 week he has, right? So he thinks like he has the buffer on the between, and he wants to do that in the rest of the week anyway. So he'll start, but slowly he'll think about the time he has, and one day will go, second day will go, the first week will completely go in a fraction of second. Like how time is running like anything nowadays. Even we see that in work from home times, like how it is running like anything. So the 1 week gone, and the second week he get the utmost seriousness on second week starting day Monday. Again he starts that till the last day. He knows that the last date is 15th. He knows the way till 14th comes. Then he starts the end stage of procrastination, which is stress. So these way the people mindset, right? I'm not saying everyone will work like that, but the example I'm saying, like, if he already planned to complete in the first week, and the second week he can go on testing the task, and just revising the task whether it's coming good or not, discussing with the team. This kind of proactive procrastination that need to be done before getting the deadline into the out of hands.
Yeah. Well, now let me put the most important question, the crux of this episode. What are the effects of procrastination?
Yeah, this is very important to know. In my experiences, right, whatever I faced, maybe around 4 to 6 months, I was like, my career of 4 to 6 months in an organization was like a roller coaster due to the work that I had at that time. So as example, I said, right, the buffer, I took buffer as a granted, which you should not take that 100%. You should not take anything granted, but especially this buffer should not be taken as a granted. That is like alarm. If you get a buffer and if it is extends, right, again, that is a bigger alarm. You need to make it in your mind. You need to be start that it was end in the mind. Like I mean to say, you already completed the task. Like that, you need to start that inside the mind, irrespective of the date, the end date that was there. That is one thing you need to make sure. What I can say.
Okay. Okay. So now that we understood the problem, let's talk about the solutions. What are the different ways to overcome this procrastination?
Yep. There are few techniques that we can follow. People say just breathe in, breathe out, and come back to focus of the mind. 2 minute rule, 5 minute rule. What I believe, right? So whatever the task you start, you never distract, or you don't want to distract. Right? First, whatever wherever you sit or you start the task, just plan it. You have to complete the task in the next minute. That way you need to work. So for example, I made a 5 minute rule. So what 5 minute rule means, for example, my room was not looking good. So clothes everywhere, books everywhere. Obviously in normal days, right, how you only if any relatives or guests coming to our home will make it neat, some rooms like that you need to make everything clean, right? So take a 5 minute of deadline. Like in 5 minutes I need to clear up the room. But the first second of 1 minute you start, right, I bet within 1 or 2 minutes you'll clear up the room. But you made a deadline of 5 minutes. So that strategy you need to follow in when achieving your personal or professional tasks. And should not be hurry, because you need to evaluate the result how it comes. That's what actually I want to say. So anyway, time is very important in everyone's life, right? So you just measure your tasks that need to be completed on time and make a 2 minute or 5 minute rule. A rule is a rule again. You should not, there are no rule breakers. In 5 minute or 2 minute deadline, you need to complete this. Just break it into pieces, the task, and finish it.
Yes, absolutely. So, what are the benefits of overcoming this procrastination?
There are a lot of benefits. The lot of focus will go like on and on when your brain works very sharp. And what I can say, I was not very focused person at some times. But whenever when you distract, right, from one point to from point A to point B, and making taking the focus back from point B to point A is very difficult, which I experienced. But once you were successful at the time, you just bring back that focus from point B to point A. Once it comes back, it never goes. Definitely never goes, and you'll achieve whatever you started. That I can bet that, because I experienced that. And this movement from A to B is, it happens for everyone. But once you just bring back your focus to the starting point of the task, right, it never goes, and you will achieve whatever you want to do.
Okay. Then, what is the positive impact on society if people stop procrastination?
uh, this is a very complicated question. Society comes, uh, I'll start with the individual person. If you two persons friends, if you have multiple persons in family, collection of families is a society, and collection of societies is a state. This is very complicated, especially in India. It is very, very complicated. If you ask me to why when people get stopped this procrastination, I don't think that happens on like going in future and all. It is depends on their individual ethics. If they want to do the good thing, if they decide, they can do. If they planned, or if anything comes into their in between, from start point to end point, they will divert. Indians definitely easily divert, and they will go to that topic, and they will sit there for long, long hours to discuss whether that is not useful for their career as well. So If it is a dream to get everyone people aware of this procrastination, they avoid and they go for whatever the benefits the society. Definitely, it will be helpful. That is the best thing that we can see. There is no need of helping others at that time, because everyone is very focused and target. There is no need to lift the group of communities to get them run, because everyone will be in hand working together. If this procrastination was completely aware of these people and what actually it affects on society.
Okay. Okay. So, just one message for our listeners with respect to today's concept, the effects of procrastination.
Yep. As you asked one message, I'll give one line of message. It's like no excuses. That's the only one message I can give. Wo- don't get surprised, because in this line, no excuses. To elaborate, you do it now, this time, current, present only. Whatever you each want to do, you do it now. If you postpone that, we don't know what will happen tomorrow. You agree, right? That's it.
Yes, of course.
Simple. No excuses. That is the one line I can say. Whatever the thing, you just do it. You must be a doer. That's it.
Awesome. Okay. So now it's time for us to move on to a special segment in our podcast, that is the rapid fire round. Are you ready?
Bit scared but ready.
Okay, don't be scared. It's just a
But
fun segment.
yeah. Plus, yeah, sure, please.
Okay. So, Vishnu, here's my first question to you in the rapid fire round: procrastination or laziness?
Uh, these are like twins. Or I can say that laziness.
Okay. Saturday or Sunday?
Uh, any day which gives completely a new experience when you start morning. Just get out from the bed and go outside to see the nature, which is very like pure sunlight that falling on your body, and just go for a walk outside or go to park with family, friends and all that. Any day is good for me. If you ask me specific, Sunday
Okay. Morning or evening?
morning, definitely.
Okay. So you don't want to procrastinate to evening.
You're very sharp.
Okay. Source or destination?
Source.
Okay. January or July?
July.
Okay. But here you procrastinated.
Yeah, here I was little bit attached to rain season, so
Oh, okay. That's the reason. Great. Okay. School or college?
school.
Okay. Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
Okay. Summer or winter?
Winter.
Okay. So you are attached to rainy and winter as well.
Yeah, yeah. That's the
Okay.
place
Mobile.
where you can go around and check the true colors of the nature. I was very interested for on traveling much, so I completed almost all states in the south. So I was very enjoyed in rainy and winter seasons, going to hill stations, and also in summer anywhere is okay in India. It's a normal, right? But in these seasons we can enjoy like anything.
Yes. Okay. Mobile or laptop?
Both are very dangerous. Laptop.
Okay. So, Vishnu, here's my last question to you in the rapid fire round. My most favorite one. Let's see what you're going to say.
Okay.
Giridhar or Vishnu?
Giridhar.
Okay. But you would have chosen Vishnu as well, right?
Yeah, but you have been inspiration. In the college. I think you're in senior in the same college we studied, right? So I was like very introvert kind of person, and I was have very few seniors known, like hardly two to three. One is Mahesh and other is you. So I any decision or any suggestion I took from you, if you remember, actually in college times, including some other external activities. So I like the way you deal the things. So we need to have some. I'm not saying a kind of inspiration, but a person to guide, a person to give you some clear picture on whatever the clear doubts that we have. In that case, I'll definitely choose you.
Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you so much not for remembering everything even till today. Frankly speaking, I don't exactly remember those days completely, at least only here and there, few bits and pieces. I could remember, not exactly, not completely. That is what I can say. But thank you so much for remembering and even choosing me, and not only for that, but also for joining us on this podcast today, and we look forward to having you once again on the podcast in future.
Sure, it's actually a very privilege for me to attend my seniors podcast. Yeah, it's very good, and I wish you all the best with all the post podcasts in future. And I think I wish you to see one of the most viewed podcasts in Spotify, whatever the apps that I have. Even I was very interested to join on multiple topics as well in future, when time permits. It's very good talking to you, Giridhar.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you so much. And like you were saying, you appear to be just introvert, but you are actually not. That is what I can say.
Maybe.
All right. All right. And thank you once again for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Giridhar. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Well, that's it for today, listeners. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll be back next week with another amazing guest. See you.